ni team Real Madrid. And the other stories are here on Uli Hoynes. The stories are all Kafa Klopp and a Liverpool team. No. You're starting to say, Madrid I say this season there, Arsenal submit me a trophy. And your trophy is because I talk about Onje trophy. But me kasa trophy Champions League
major Premier League or the Champions
League. Me kala Arsenal major bako.
This season.
Yeah.
Wow.
I imagine say so kind culturally how Arsenal who am say brebi omunya antobo say de ma omo coaches ni ade to tombo say that omo team no nya sorry you know say o break your mind very difficult pa even Sakazola Ozil o kasa squad no Aubameyang no actually Alexis Sanchez mo squad no na squad Arsenal betim de agibi o
true
o say ya hwade bi wo ha o EPL no. There have been certain squads almost a trophy, but Ojine ko wachi ana yawo ya. One of the squads I make cancel almost a trophy me yawo EPL no. Santi Cazorla mo Thomas Rosiski mo squad no. They had everything. Asana Sanchez mo Bayern. What they to Arsenal ba kuno ye invincible no enye yi. But this squad no ya no so hia major trophy. And that squad almost a trophy na me dwene ho amenti ase. Pochettino no Tottenham Hotspur no.
De la Modiano.
Yeah, at the end of my squad, we a bit depleted. Now, I'm going to pinpoint to say in second trophy. What did they lack as a squad? I'm going to keep on actually World Cup in my France and Hugo Lloris. Actually, Sergio Rey, Cramo, the copy. They had everything. Pochettino, Tottenham Hotspur, no. Hurricane, Son, Dele Alli, Sadio Bonidino, Lucas Moura, Sissoko, who else? And the Liverpool squad, you know, Suarez. No Judge, no Bobo, Nico, or next Sturridge, next tell you. It was so pathetic, so much so went to win your trophy, and fancy. But all in all, Arsenal squad we. So we can't take and find Champions League and find EPL. Yow. Oh my God. Send you because a football, there be a football unfair, no. That is a football unfair, but. So say you can't find share home. At the other pan Arsenal here. Yeah, there be a Yakupon or catch it through the Bible, or bumpire, but we more tanful. But any bomb with the record. A caponeti bar, ya could take your stance in bottle, how do I? Your fanco boy, a vampire and famobi. But I feel no, as not tanful in our hot channel. Liverpool, yes, struggles when Arsenal pay struggles, baby. At dear Man City, almost shaba in their struggles. Now, I mean, even the Man City, you know, that top 4, that top 5 1 year, you know. Are your most struggles, you know, if they get up about how. So then Mikel Arteta, Yakupo be your tanfu bibia. At the end of Liverpool and San Wababu, the end of Manchester United. At the end of Chelsea, none of the competitors and a general also say CIA Casayo England. I mean none. Why the bit because I was sorry about stop Arsenal. Now, make Canisano. I'm not trying to say what Jimmy Monawi. Season I will know ya obetimi ati ahwese last season me twa dwa kwade bi so before na Liverpool be free Champions League no they were the best team until facing PSG. Liverpool and Ancelotti were the best team.
Yeah,
talk of town, everybody spoke good of them. But the sheer Luis Enrique no everything and then no Mendes stop Salah near kasa Salah one team and my Liverpool who say they were not the best team in Europe as we supposed. Maybe Arsenal just a serial. Man City, Barca, they need to have the aura to face all of them. Wow. So Arsenal show be in the parashana a humbi. And yet tactically, and yet technical structure. Now, a DBA echoes what Chelsea no. I am a fair. Now I am a demo Chelsea fans. Barca in this idea be. Now my GM said, incarnated to Chelsea no. On more the fighting spirit. Relentless, spirit of relentless. One say we saw down for you look over here now.
Koyeka crowd boss is still a bianana be yebedi. Trying.
What to me?
Yeah,
Oman umuhano. Omo relentless. So guys will be here. We are the and nobody.
I'm not going to share with you. Obama trust boss. Me pass him too much. And now, oh boy, now I say I know my wukra. I'm TV na she. A Hong Kong no he.
There's what you see can ask no Obama boy I know asre. Afa. Okay.
Mo ya mani mo dey show me but.
I was saying,
the other new things in our mic, come on, this
Sir, boy, no buy no. O cardia na ye prepare.
breakfast buffet that.
No, seriously. Jesus, I know. What a football, but no case will be born here with Didia. A big home. Over for the other question passing.
On the question, you see one more chance and brand. I have now go for your to meet your rescue sound. And be a dick, and I don't know about.
I don't know the barrel. The D. My friend says, Landlana.
I don't know you so la emunakwa. Or you're relentless. I've seen that spirit in Chelsea. Yeah, ubetimi talent, ubetimi bibi o wiase. But the commitment to fight, you know, so we need be a yaw or talent in the beko. Me Frankie de Jong, talent to crown no Coca said or near Dinibia and Kebo Ballon d'Or Kebo Ndiaka home. The ball progression, the ball retention, everything he does when he has the ball. But without the ball, no, what does he offer? I want to you know. Now Chelsea were a fighting spirit to be a so man you my rescue idea better so because I think that behind the scenes, you know. Coach in the cast and boys and say, look, me a proving coach, me a young coach. Most of them are young players. If we can do something, mobile boy, and a top boys in the team. Nemum, Sanya Dano told be a yana trasso. Sa a trasso say, Kukuyara ye Lamia ma debia, no me hot chim, no red TV num. Na me no concra. But I'm not saying who be, but the idea be my shadow on show them in free our story. So I think say Enzo, it told be I want to know Boasakakra. Born a bono who say discipline can and not after making a very tough tackle. Now was also celebrity
against Madrid Barcelona.
Oh yeah. No, it was not good sportsmanship.
We was no money saying.
Says Hannah born it here. Me cry me play say.
Not to me.
My memory the Bema ba. Me am say Bema. I love the fact that there be a city own him. But so only rough for the so. Was city be a best be a man fake. Because an me and send you free game no. Too happy, too sad, too angry. Running friendly emotions. And you think I shall go back who I was celebrating. I don't confront about it. You are too happy. Sometimes I consider you are who I walk to Monsamo Casani as I for Frasakamo. Three different situations about you a free game. Too happy, too sad, too angry. And Mediama Shadrach, how are that born or Chelsea for Airborne? Look at it. After attack, look, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice, yeah. But away from the game, no, no make us say on the field, no, and Yama will control also. And nothing a winner players na on crabo no to me fight him awa yaw. Ese so mo niji. And then I hear fans. Ye hwebo player jibo and the bad so but say player crabo ya na ye hwe ho adentia. Me dwire ho aya me ntiase o. Because ball ye ball kwa mienu so ball wo ho na ball eni wo ho. Na de tie say ball ni wo ho a you look out for spaces. Boni be kurawa space is corona na obehwehwe nemum to stay ahead of time you begin to fish or look out for spaces that be about no be ba no na ka say this guy we intelligent it is obi kura ball na wonya kwa fa real spaces in mo you can say you are controlling the spaces without the ball and to Jose Mourinho die sometimes betimi training ground betimi you one player free mo no ma others no try to close the spaces and one player no our free no ajano na mo try say we be close no. Now, only holiness a casting be. Some no kind of is so technical. I say Liverpool a for players biaba.
Yeah.
Or ball Verti, no say so unfortunate say Verta Kotum say. And a boss Soboslai, no ball Isaac, no boss Salah.
Salah, Omunina will be a boni biabo.
I want to in common echo.
Would that say ye discuss what I cry say Liverpool is one and the main man as will be any born or the Quacomano. But Liverpool so dear. Obi abeso no so je ball ni bibo. I'm say ya discuss wa kra no bia na wo ho na say.
Okay no. One say ya partnerships no aya na ye ka no. Before we who partnership no, there has to be some level of sacrifice. Before we who ade friend say rhythm, there has to be chemistry. Without chemistry there's no rhythm. Yaw, say you mo na who say nkran nwumre, bi won ba mall ho no mo ye, omo sabom, onso moves ni nyina ye pe. friendship ayonkofa bi na omo ntamu a omo moves no move bom no entimi ensi so chemistry and then rhythm. Now chemistry no fall when somebody has the ball, somebody works without the ball. Oh, so Modric in a cruise in why naka? Modric in a cruise in no,
Casemiro, yeah.
He has to balance the two. Now without the ball, the other Modric or never. Ball no Modric, I want to understand this. Somebody does the tackle, somebody does the blocks. And no so. Now the passes now the ban nyansa no. Casemiro so nya sa ade no. Entwani ori chale ye media no so nya wode ma. Chemistry or intem, then there's the rhythm for the team. And say Salah kura ball no olusu a. When the best start running, Salah running. So much like kura ball no olusu a. When the best start running close to space now the ball no ko beda na chi no. If there's no chemistry, obianko vo bi ma obi. Because Salah wants the ball, Salah wants the ball, Vets wants the ball. Who got Kitike and then Isak? All of them wants the ball to move. Partnerships, there's always an element of sacrifice. When they sacrifice their money, yonko. Yo, sacrificing and then the wow cover spaces in a watch, you know. Oh, now yeah, near Casa Marcelo, one of the best offensive fullbacks, you know. Once Marcelo about you tackle that. Somebody does that job for him. It was also so called Koyanim Hofford and Bibwa. Let's say assist to that rhythm. Enti Hulu, Ulu Hoine say Busa say Liverpool ni mo chemistry ni ho, rhythm ni ho, understanding bi ni ho. Because nobody wants to sacrifice for the other person. Asemi ene kwanswa no na a very 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 difficult job. Because enya tactics won some near can. Enya technique. Your friend man management. Your friend man management. Emfa ho ne me no wa yonko fa bia ye wo. Emfa ho ne oni mikidie. Emfa ho ne Sivone obi a waka bia Akomeah mo. Se ba program yi so. Na want me amfa no we an control ye ya. Ebe jo nsem. A friend man management. Now, why not slot a friend akachen say uroni. Oh yeah. So you think, say, yana partnership sacrifices in him. So how did the MNS work? Na Mbappe nkuwa be shemu anya adwuma. Or the also the MBio. It could have formed another partnership or Paris. After say name and Messi ko, you know. Oh, ya fa Suarez ama any Mbappe shim. So no center forward. Mbappe could that top na. How did that partnership fail to function? It's a chemistry ni hono mo. Yaw, mo be struggle. Na say sacrifices bad ya. Obiya boy dwuma no de man yonko. At this point, yeah, watch the panel and a legendary voice like Uli Hones so question say, I don't know from Germany ni de. Okrabona na uhu no. But unfortunately, baby okwa no so no. Equally, they also need the ball to function. And Jakwa say obi nya dwuma fama ni yonko. Now at this point, you know, yaw, sani slot and see from pa ibe yinedi. The ekeka kono. Ibe yinedi.
Wow.
The ekeka kono. Because every day, the more you solve this, the more another problem comes up. The more you solve this, the more another problem comes up. But the Alonso, the number 12 for different time.
Whoa, may I say, you full house and Meza Bray.
Yeah. My initiative for there are several discussions but I think looking at the leagues now, boy, you know, and then you may see money, you better touch beyond getting. I think Mesha said you're free the English Premier League, where Arsenal and Chelsea, a boy. Just maybe some good results for Manchester United because 12 games unbeaten. That was who's back. Manchester United goes then in the second half, they win the game by 2-1. I think that is some good results for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Especially when you're to more Everton. Manchester City, can we say Leeds United more mass. But if you want to compete or some of these things, you know, was to me. But points tally a City last season as 13 games, you know, and one or more this season. So there has not been any further improvement on Manchester City's points accumulation. Last season after 13 games, this season after 13 games. Literally looking at almost fixtures and then in the Omabono, we can make a case for them too. But I think for Liverpool to come back and win a game against West Ham United after that difficult period now. For Alexander Isak, say when you go, the Yamal, maybe you or tap a ball on a net. Yeah, takes an intelligent attacker and I did a war nano and a war nano. Maybe we did one touch pa. Now on the net. I think West Ham foot and quite issues be brain in them. But the highlight of the Premier League is the game between Chelsea and Arsenal. Nigeria for baby or se krama ka ba ko a krama na bodam. Na mum krama ne ka o mienu a wudi pa na bodam. Ana yetu ebet na ha bua ba ka chese se. Ebi allow the day. Say ahwiye na chese se bi wadwen na adwuma nti na akotena ba bi ade bi akrama ne be bo ba be ka wo. A odi be di wa agree. Think say sa ba dan che hwe makrama nka wo. Because also tam na atimi de bibi na atimi de bono. Arsenal ya de bi a omum pese whatever happened in the previous seasons the be say CBM. Yeah. And annual results no might be seen as disappointing for Arsenal. But ya me amete me Madrid ni mesusu yemu na just say results wey good part ma Arsenal. E good the more. E di enti na make us say good the ma Arsenal. Yeah. Last season ye ball league ni drew empempen so say no match day 13. Na Arsenal were 25 points. This season ye bodru some empempen so we model league in the top. Na Arsenal were 30 points. 5 more. Say what the total last season games are Arsenal boy ya. But the Biama Shadrack say games are Arsenal boy baby ana hoden or baby ana hoden or the level of competition need teams or meshes your mono. Any the results are Arsenal nyano. Then you know say this season there has been a massive improvement. This season Arsenal about Man City first 13 games you. Arsenal about Chelsea. Arsenal about Manchester United. Wabo Liverpool. Wabo Newcastle United. Maybe a match they bear 14-15 or better kobo Aston Villa. Yow, young fa oma wabo ma we 5 teams we say now me di to me say Upe League aje also make a statement to Omonchen because when Liverpool wanted to win the league last season, she ko omo fa so koye. Ekotia Newcastle will fee. Darwin Nunes Bobby or far.
And of Liverpool the red card and now 2 red cards and now.
But they found a way to win. Now, last season for Arsenal, first 13 games, Obo Wolves, Obo Aston Villa away, Obo Brighton and Hove Albion fee, Tottenham Hotspur Obo away, Man City Obo no away, Obo Liverpool home, Obo Newcastle away, Obo Chelsea away. Now you look at certain results at Arsenal last season against these big teams now. Now over here against Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur results in the saying. Yaw, wa question the number to say last season. Over here Arsenal and Manchester City, Omabo draw. When you cry Arsenal and Bo fee 1 away. The same draw picking 1 point. Then Omabo share obi to say Arsenal and Liverpool, Arsenal lose our game no. But against Newcastle United, what share no. And against Chelsea, we maintain. Yaw, it will other games ni bi anke beti mama Arsenal let me atiaba for my referee system ni na no. O me make sure so maso so ho keten. Wa kwa we akoshe Manchester United by 1-0 at the beginning of the season. Now you look at games no ma bonne the results no matimi accumulated. They are 4 points short of last season maybe na Liverpool after 13 games in the number of points are na Liverpool enya. Last season about 13 games we na Liverpool were 34 points. But now the other second were 25. This is in the Arsenal pair top nipe. Because Arsenal were 30. Man City toss second to say last season or 25 points. The points difference between 7th position and 4th position yaw and that's 3 points. Last season you bought 13 games you not sanity. It will check here from the 7th position Tottenham Hotspur was saying 20 points. The toss 4th was saying 23 3 points. Now 4 points in a year away. A year away to Sunderland. And a year away to Chelsea. Kenya sa Casamri Arsenal sukuta say 34 points to say the Liverpool nyane last season. By out. The ama omu games winning na mesasu wo gidie bi se no. Arsenal ya nyoma ketua bi ya nyoma betimi apia mu kakra na ye say among big teams na mabobo omu din nyina obi abekọ Emirates.
Yes.
Chelsea bekọ Emirates.
Those big matches you know mo kwa away.
Only Manchester City. Yeah. Ama Arsenal bekọ the Etihad. Liverpool beba Emirates. Chelsea beba Emirates.
United.
Manchester United beba Emirates. Newcastle United beba Emirates. Big boys ni nyina dodo na beba Emirates in the second round of the Premier League. Now first round points are picking getting there from whatever. And yaw, Oma say if not anything Standard are not more last season against certain opponents. They will literally try and keep up the momentum. Say they will make at least 1 point. And when come lose game now, it is a drop off from whatever that happened between them and Chelsea last season. Abraham Okopeke is saying 1 point. And they are right on the track. No worries. Because of my bomb winning you book have any befia. Yow, mobile. And now many new team didn't come over Chelsea. Arsenal the Emirates football they be to me see. Be to me see. Arsenal can stay at Emirates and lose. By yow, my prove chair beyond reasonable doubt say it will fear this season. Kasi be one ma call ma bet me on my pressure. Including the likes of Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich Munina ko Emirates on mo kwoti be ahia no mo de day. Eba. And in the league this season, out of the 6 games, no mabo fear no 18 points. And that's Kutamu 16 points. City remains the best home team in the league because they've even played one more home game than Arsenal. Arsenal now about 6 and City about 7. City now about 7 out of 21 points. City kuta 18. Meaning say City at Tenefi aso ayede. Elusu. But for Arsenal, they are still there. It results in India and then they play the game without their 2 main center backs, Gabriel Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Omumi enu no be any. But how more react? I think 10 against 11. You were expecting them say they will do better and win the game. But yaw, Adibo on my Chelsea ya. Mienfa abasobodi enfa mawomo. I think the last few games they've shown a level of mental toughness against Barcelona. This November, the kind of results are Chelsea are the kind of results are Chelsea Setimiaka. But after the game, no Moku Bisenzo Maresca said, still now a title contender now. And I'll bet me a prebi. Utienzo Maresca dia or say last year, baby, I'm not Chelsea Ginano. This season is totally different. On Castle Mobeji, name or has a yendru match ho baby no. Not Chelsea did that baby or that's what that's see an ABM. That means be an points gap near 6 and not 7. Can it be that way? Yow. Statistics say oh check it Chelsea points per game this season. Now what the two senior more corner this pace na ye season no more 73 points. Meaning say no league title na me ho. Unless they improve upon the total points accumulation that was almost a timika. And yes, just maybe there may be a lot of improvement in terms of maybe the mental state of this team, almost style of play. But with points accumulation, there will still be questions around it. Because last season, your boy season in December, not Chelsea were 25 points. This season, your boy Chelsea were 24. And may the graph be my shadow with teams are Premier League needed 2 years, say almost 30 season, you know. First 12 games to 13 games, almost fixtures, and then a more for Chelsea will be. Arsenal will be. As compared to last season. And now the next games, you know, over some of these games, it's better you start to recouping the points. And this is the graph that tells us that. And no check teams almost fixtures in the name Chelsea, Leeds, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Arsenal, Sunderland, Aston Villa. So per the fixtures, the points accumulation should have been more. But I think for Chelsea fans, they are growing confident in whatever they are seeing with their eyes. Yow, Adibi ordinary Shebiano, well confident to them. But at the end of the day, it's the total points accumulation you have that will determine maybe a real position in the league. So. But things are clear. Say back-to-back Champions League is not far from them. Which is say I check a crown son on Monse Kebi. Say back-to-back. Yeah. Say Chelsea got Champions League back-to-back. First nanke Conference League. No about Europa. No Atiaba. No Akwaba. But everything clearly shows that they are on the right path. But the points needs to improve. Especially compare to last season. Oma Messi Levy Corio. Oma Messi Kopama for a chunk of the season. But I think without them, they've been able to even cope the past 6 games at Chelsea about before and game no. Yeah, compare Chelsea first 6 games, last 6 games before and game now. A huge difference. and a massive improvement. Because Chelsea first 6 games in the league, omo keep 2 clean sheets. The last 6 games before ending a game, not Chelsea keep 4 solid clean sheets. The number of goals they've conceded, the number of goals they scored, meaning say on match season, ni man 12 matches before ending a game, no much 2 no. Not the way improvement to Mbappe, and then Oma conceded here, but the confidence with 10 man against Arsenal will continue to keep on. But they need to make sure, say, at the end of the season, and yeah, look at this, and when you should recommend that, but goal difference, goals for say first 6 games, say 11, last 6 games before and game say 12, goals against first 6 games 8 goals, last 6 games before and game 3. What about going to become 4? No check clean sheet, no check points. Oh, my team accumulate. They've been able to accumulate 15 points in the past 6 games. Then the first 6 games, no more accumulate say 8. So there has been a massive improvement with them. But yeah, the only issue is the points accumulation will need to grow, will need to increase.
Run to me.
Alonso Atenasi Mama Real Madrid Barcelona Mbappe sign Abeda first on the league log. Atletico Madrid is also third. 3 points between Omo and the Barcelona. Yeah, the La Liga is shaping up. But I think for Real Madrid, another disappointing result in the league. Because Balakano ko board draw meboa. Ano ni HD no so end say.
Board draw.
Ano asa ko board draw biem.
No Girona.
Girona. And this is a Real Madrid team. Last week, a series, and Real Madrid also that first. You are overreacting. Week for us, Barcelona and that first. What I say? And for now, I think there are a whole lot of issues Barcelona are even dealing with themselves. A bit master within a twinkle of an eye, Real Madrid that's at that top. And I'm sure Hansi Flick video, Rafinha video, yeah, or 2 on my Rafinha, then they say to raise or crock of a panel. So I frustrated. Said the Real City pen a bone and yes, I know more bono. It is true. Because don't mean to 2 about 7 free team. In you go moon corner replacement of a team in Lusa level. Now you struggle. You don't create competition in the team, a bit more position inside because Barcelona need a competition at the right back. For left back, Balde and Gerard Martin. Gerard Martin or Pessoa in the centre back. Meaning Barcelona would need another left back. And if they had money and they had their way, I think in the January transfer window, I also can boost or more because season no. Last season they've been a 2 or more dream maybe no more. But for Real Madrid, they have been a team. They be an go through obstacles. But I think for Alonso, I want to see how Obe PF at the Ababon team.
Because against Bilbao game decisive manner.
Oh, yeah.
Also in my year.
I think for Real Madrid's board, we are quite relaxed, kakra. Also, my catcher said at the beginning of the season, he said, "Okasa Alonso Magic League in the first season of Real Madrid. You are not being fair to him because Liverpool is in Real Madrid." And at the same time, nothing obey trying your man 1 or 2 about 2. A farmer in terms are good, but I think the results. And yet, dear, but and yet, dear, brother, so the Oman lose, but they've been able to pick up points.